is taking one there without something more than if you should take a look at this issue critically. I think 2 days may not be enough for us to address this issue. And some years back, when I was a property I was managing, and some students approached me, in that particular apartment. So in the course of discussing with them, I discovered that they wanted to rent the apartment in order to, participate in an examination, so as to have opportunity of, making use of what they normally refer to as special centers. So I was led to talk to them because this issue of examination malpractice, for instance, that's the way I approach it. At times, I don't normally like using the sanctimonious approach.
Yes.
I tend to advise you and make you even realize yourself, the importance of, being intellectually sound. And let me use this opportunity to make our people know that there is this joy when you are sound intellectually. There is this joy that you have in you when, even if you score 10 over 100 in an exam, you are sure that that 10 over 100 is from you, that you can defend that 10 over 100 at any point in time. It's not all about brandishing certificates. It's not all about brandishing certificates. And as I spoke to those 3 students, 2 of them obviously weren't comfortable with my advice. But I discovered that one of them was very calm and sober, was very interested in what I told them. And I believe that students may have turned a new leaf thereafter, because I wouldn't know what had happened to them thereafter. They couldn't take up the accommodation. Now, coming to the direct question you asked, the family is to blame to a great extent. Of course, the various families we have make up our society. We are talking about the lady from Anambra. I wouldn't know who may have assisted her in doing what she was alleged to have done. But I can tell you that most of us are complicit in this issue. Most parents behave the same way. Most parents now, encourage their children to indulge in examination malpractices, and it's not even seen as a big deal. Unlike in the days of yore, when certain things are being done and you tend to exhibit some level of reservation. But these days, it's now being seen as the norm. And that is why we are now having challenges in our society. That is why you are now producing lawyers, with due respect to my colleagues, some of who, at the end of the day, cannot prove their mettle. But interestingly, when it comes to the law society, they may also still have their way, using the same method through which they became lawyers. That is why you now have medical doctors, who are medical doctors, and when they take you into a theater, they forget their medical equipment in your stomach. Why? They didn't pass through the rigors of intellectual acquisition. That is why you now have engineers. Go and see our houses, the way our houses are being built. Most beautiful houses are in comatose. You move into an apartment, before you know it, the settings, everything is in disarray. You are in an apartment here, you are not comfortable. That is why we now have teachers who cannot impart knowledge effectively in the forthcoming generations. That's why we now have engineers who cannot manufacture anything. They claim to be engineers. So this issue, education is the foundation of every society. So as I said earlier, I don't want to approach it from the sanctimonious point of view, but if you want to make progress as a people, you that is listening to me, there is this joy. For instance, if you are an engineer or you are science inclined, that you embark on intellectual acquisition. You can produce something, you can think, you can make use of your brain. Think, then develop something. Be proud of it. It will help make the society better. That, for instance, if you're a medical doctor, people can always patronize you, knowing full well that this is a reliable medical doctor who can prove his method. Yes. If you're a lawyer, people can always approach you, whatever may be the outcome of the judicial system, knowing that this lawyer is a lawyer who can, analyze and handle legal issues critically. And I can tell you that even bad people, they're also in need of good products when the chips are down.
Yes.
Like engineers, when the chips are down, when you want something, when you want to do something that is tangible, you look for a competent engineer. And you cannot be a competent engineer when you are not intellectually sound. So that is why I'm looking. The young lady is not the only one in many people. Even though maybe she has taken it to another level.
Yes.
Many, not even many, most of us are not complicit. Most parents are not complicit. It is becoming the norm, in which case, if you are against this particular behavioral pattern, you are even taken to be an odd member of the society. So the family basically is to blame. Then secondly, the government, because the government should also put in place policies that will make people, that will compel people to embrace sound intellectual this thing without necessarily indulging taking malpractices as a way of life.
Okay, let me not. Before I go to Chief Barrister Ray Nnaji, We have another story. Tinubu to reward Wike with ministerial appointment for reading polls. Article 8 alleges. Will you be surprised if that happens? If Bola Ahmed Tinubu appoints Wike as the minister of the Federal Republic?
No, I will not be surprised. How can I be surprised? Was I surprised when Asero Dokoro visited Asobio? I was given contract to man security between Abuja to Kaduna. Yes. Yesterday, Ken Okonkwo, Kenneth Okonkwo wrote at the back of some.
The Labour Party at...
No, he was saying that the inclusion of non-state actors in the security system. You know? So you will find out that I'm not going to be surprised, because Wike actually deceived his colleagues, apart from Makinde.
Yes.
The other three, he deceived them and worked for APC. So if he's giving me a serial appointment, if he's not giving me a serial appointment, I will be surprised. If he's not giving. So if that's the only thing he was working for. And you see now the issue of minority leader in the Senate, discussing reports, because Wike want to bring his political destiny to bear, especially to pay Tamboa back for what actually he has done during the
Does he really have that political equity, political weight?
No.
What's his political value like now?
No, the issue is that at least from his own side, from South, with the Akpabio, they can succeed in getting the senators from the South, which is going to be at least how many states? 6 times 3, which is 18 out of 36.
It's a huge number.
So it's a huge number. So that's the way I'm seeing it. So if he is rewarded with a ministerial appointment, it will not be a surprise. That is the way I see it.
Okay. There's a CDO where the presidency has rejected the EU report on 2023 polls, describing it, dismissing it as jaundiced. And we have this story. Presidency rejects EU report on 2023 polls. It actually dismissed it as jaundiced. How did you receive that news?
Anyway, honestly, I don't have much attention to accord to that news, both the report of the EU report and the reaction of the presidency. Because in the first instance, we are talking about report, whereas many member states of the European Union have already accorded some level of legitimacy to the government in power.
Yes.
They have already accepted the government and are giving us the report. So what are we going to use the report for? Because under international law, yes, the nation is a sovereign nation, but if you are actually not comfortable with the behavioral pattern of a particular nation, there are recognized customary international law practices which were expected to exhibit to show your displeasure at the manner in which a particular government came into power. For instance, if there is military coup and the exchange of government through extra-constitutional means, you cannot turn around on the one hand to tell me that you are against you are against the emergence of a current government through unconstitutional means, while on the other hand you're already transacting with that government. So I don't, with due respect, accord any attention to both sides, both to that report. That is not today we're still seeing reports, and then to the reaction of the presidency. Reaction of the presidency in the sense that if we should take a critical look or a critical examination of the report made by the EU of a truth I've not yet seen in some institutions, they may just come around. The real things going on may be hidden from them. They will not get the nitty-gritty of what is transpiring in that particular establishment. So they may have even given an overview of what they witnessed, and yet the presidency is kicking against it. And as I said, most member states, the UK is already fraternizing with the current government. So if the UK and some other war powers are already in bed with the current government, I don't know.
No, but I believe that that thing has nothing to do with actually what is happening in court.
Yes, it has nothing to do with it.
Yes, it's just for formality's sake. That's why I see it. Even INEC that says they are going to review
the elections. It's traditional for them to...
Just for formality. Because the major issue is what actually is happening in the tribunal. That is what everybody is expecting to know.
Okay.
And why they are refuting it is just let it not have anything to do with what is happening in the tribunal. That was why they came out to refute it. Not that it has any meaning to whatever is happening there.
Okay, we'll now take a break now. When we return, we'll zoom in on the local government chairman and how they are faring and what we can do to make them function better. This is Energy 105.5 FM.
Looking to study abroad or a professional seeking new job opportunities overseas? Look no further than Avic Consults. Avic Consults specialize in school and job visa sponsorship services, making your dreams of studying or working abroad a reality. Our team of experienced professionals will guide you through the entire visa application process, from filling out the necessary forms to providing the required documentation. So whether you are a student or a professional, let us help you achieve your goals and make your dreams a reality. Contact us today to learn more about our school and job visa sponsorship services. Avic Consults is located at House B1, Rose Gardens Court Estate, Rangers Avenue, Independence Layout, Enugu. Call for further inquiries 0810-109-8488 or 0814-931-6300. Avic Consult, do more.
You are now officially vibing to a whole new energy. Energy 105.5.
To join any conversation on any program airing on Energy 105.5 FM, call 0700-1055-0000 or 0700-1055-1055. You can also join the conversation online on our social media platforms at Energy 105.5 FM.
If you find this station boring or sounding even half as whack as your regular radio, call cops on us. This is not just another radio on your dial. This is Energy FM 105.5.
If you're just joining us, the program is State of the Nation here on Energy 105.5 FM, connecting the world from the hills of the hilly city of Enugu. And we have Chief Barrister Ray Nnaji and Barrister C.D. Owe, both lawyers, politicians, activists, and we are going to be looking at the performances of our local government chairman and how to make them function better. We have had issues about the effect of interferences, interjections in the processes by the chief executive of states, and at a point they said they were dipping their hands too much into the treasury of the local government areas. But when it was thrown open to vote for local government autonomy, that didn't sail through because the consensus position was no local government autonomy. It's like you are in a cage and somebody wants to pull you out of the cage and you say, no, you are happy where you are. Well, the local government is the third tier of government in Nigeria. It's the closest to the people, they say. As such, it's saddled with a lot of responsibilities. Let me start with you, Barrister C.D. Owe. Some people say we should scrap the local government areas. Your thoughts?
Anyway, I don't think it would be nice to scrap the local government tier of government, because it is the tier of government that brings governance to the grassroots. So scrapping it, will help worsen the situation that we are witnessing leadership-wise already in the country, because many people may not have easy access to the government at the state level and at the center. What I think we should be talking about is how to reform the system, the local government system, to make it more people-oriented, to ensure that the ideals of this tier of government, that the ideals come to fruition, that we begin to enjoy governance at the grassroots. That is what I think we should be talking about. I don't order by that idea of scrapping the local government tier of government. And most importantly, in reality, it's even difficult to scrap that tier of government because you have to amend the constitution for you to do that. And considering the influence that most state governors wield over the lawmakers at the state level, I don't think we can do anything. I don't think that constitutional amendment will scale through. So it has come to stay, at least for the time being, except something miraculous happens. Except if you have a situation where the at least 24 state governors decide to repent overnight. Or maybe a political miracle happens, like what took place with regard to this issue of beavers. Because the way the National Assembly authorized the use of beavers is like still a miracle. It's like they slept, approved the use of
No, they didn't know the implication. They didn't know the consequence, the degree of what beavers could do.
So, except if you witness such scenario whereby, the governors may be in a very happy mood. They maybe were having their governors forum. They say, let us grant the autonomy, the local government, and then make necessary amendments so that, for instance, local government elections will not be conducted, let's say, by INEC or by a fully independent body that will help ensure that those who are actually independent-minded emerge leaders at this tier of government. But in the absence of that, if we should be realistic, nothing will happen to that tier of government for now.
I'll come to you, Barrister. Let me just take a message now.
Secondary school to equip your child to rise above the challenges of his or her time, then this is for you. Admission is ongoing into the Lord's International College, Ifite Oka, a well-equipped day and boarding school with qualified hostel managers. Entrance examination into JS1 and JS2 at the Lord's International College, Oka, will be on Saturday, 8th, 15th and 22nd July 2023 by 9 a.m. at the school premises, number 1 the Lord's Avenue off Winters Avenue, Ifite Oka. You can also visit the school premises for on-the-site inspection or call 0705-980-1333 or 0705-980-2229 or 0704-584-9778 or visit www.thelordsinternationalcollege.com or email at thelordsinternationalcollege2023@gmail.com. The best 3 students will have automatic scholarship, while the first 50 to register will have free class uniform. The Lord's International College, Oka, inspiring greatness.
So, Barrister Naji, after every effort at granting local government areas in Nigeria autonomy, it passed through the normal hearings, public hearings and all that, and when it was put to vote, it failed. Can you preface that with your reaction to the first question?
No, I quite adopt his position as the reality on ground, because there's no way you can have autonomy without amending the constitution. But I must have to say that even if you didn't amend the constitution, there are some state governors that are not greedy to the extent that they will have semi-autonomy in local government operation. In the sense that when they have their fund, they allow the fund to be. Because I was meant to understand that certain sum of money were being mapped out every month for the previous government, the state, to the extent that if such amount, a minimum of 50 million, per local government, and if such amount is being given out to the state government, what is left? What is left for the local
government just collects and pays salaries
and it is an avenue to encourage the local government chairman to embezzle his own, because if by the time he gives 50 million
to the master,
to the master, he will not be queried for having at least a little less to that of the one the master is having. So, but I meant to understand equally that the government before the previous allowed the local government to operate, except few individuals whom the governor was not even aware that they were having hand in the local government form, until such a time that the governor came to know, especially towards the end of the government. So it depends on the person at the helm of affairs. You know quite well that Section 162 made it possible that all funds should come to a particular area for distribution to local government.
Yes.
And as a result of that, even not only the national fund, that of the state, because certain percentage of the IGR collected by the state is supposed to go to the local government. Well, I must have to tell you, that thing has never happened. The state government has never given out any percentage of the IGR collected from the state because they are in control. And you know quite well that the State House of Assembly, the laws the local government is operating is made by the local State House of Assembly. That was why what is happening in Benue is happening.
Yes.
Where the local government said that they have suspended an elected local government because the law establishing them was made by the local government.
Yes.
So it is a very big problem. And like my colleague said, it starts from the election. State Electoral Committee, Electoral Commission, are the people responsible for the conduct of election into local government system by virtue of Section 194 and the third schedule of the Constitution. So I must have to say that if that was why after the election, no matter whatever, no matter how popular you are, if it does not belong to the party of the government in power,
yes,
you'll find out that you will not get anywhere. The result will come out to the extent that it's 100% for that party in power all over the country. So it has not, that is where the problem started. So the issue of checkmating the local government and doing this, when we were there, though we were under the military government,
yes,
then we were answerable to the military government. But our funds were not touched. We were given our allocation direct. They don't have this collection of funds.
So why are these crop of local chairmen not talking?
No, if you talk, you know quite well that you State House of Assembly have a check over you. Certain things can happen before you know it. It's either through your funding. The audit department can come out and indict you. And once you are indicted, before you know it, local government councillors will organize a situation whereby a vote of no confidence is passed, and before you know it, you have seen yourself outside the local government council. So this has put a lot of fear into this local government chairman. And that made so many of them not to be working. And how do you checkmate it? How do you now assess their performance? Very difficult. You cannot do that, except the governor himself decide to assess them. And when he wants to live above board by not touching their fund, then you have opportunity of saying, look, you are not doing well. But if you are touching their funds, you can't have that conscience to start, look, you are not doing well, you are doing well. Because though they might not come out to say it openly, but within you, with guilty mind, you wouldn't have that temerity to tell any local government chairman that is not performing because of the fact that the fund that's supposed to go to local government is not actually given to them.
Okay, but as a CDO, where you go to some local government areas, overtaken by bushes, they can't even fumigate, and small things that they're supposed to do, like landscaping, not done at all. They are not offering any service to the people. Culverts are not taken care of, and they get IGR, internally generated revenue. Is there no way they can be accountable?
I mean, local government are viable for IGR.
Anyway, the point there is that we are talking about...
Even in Enugu Metropolis, yeah.
Okay, we are talking about.
In the first instance, this issue is being raised as it concerns the act of some state executives, chief executives, meddling unlawfully with local government funds. But we should also ask another question. Assuming we have governors who are not interested in touching the funds made for the local government, what about the local government chairmen themselves and the councillors? What about we, the people, who are ordinarily expected to be the beneficiary of governance at the local government tier of government? You that is listening to me, if your brother emerges a councillor and he fails to build at least a 2-story building before leaving office, will you see him as a failure, as a hero, even if he performs very well, even if he builds culverts?
But where will he get the money?
No, as I mean the money
they
that...
are giving an instance, because as a councillor, I don't know how you have access to funds.
They make money.
But some councillors have been building big houses.
Yes.
Where do they get the money except
Anywhere they get,
Because we have had cases where they are giving money to go and do culverts. They're tied to culverts, but the culverts are not done.
or if done, not done in
Not even done at all. They will tell them I'll be initial. They just write culvert, but this is your money.
Now, coming to the direct question you asked, if you are elected the local government chairman and you believe that you don't have the financial wherewithal to carry out your duties, you resign. You leave office. Yes, I repeat. If you're elected
it's very difficult.
It's not difficult.
But it's very, very difficult because it depends on what to wear.
There's a point.
I disagree with you.
Let me
I
land.
disagree with you.
Let me land. There's a point I'm trying to see the point I'm trying to make. I'm elected local government chairman, and there are no funds at my disposal, and I'm not courageous enough to tell the governor, please don't touch my funds. Let me work. And I'm complaining that there's no money, yet I'm still there. It is strange now. If you are in power and you cannot work, and there's no money, in fact, let's leave work, there's no money coming in, you are not seeing money, you have to resign now.
No, but the issue is that how did you come in?
That is the
The selection process is one of the things. If for instance, it's the governor that made it possible for you to become the chairman,
you become his.
That means you are to blame.
That's what I'm saying. You have become the stooge. And what were you before you became the chairman?
That means
that's the point. Some people see it as an upliftment.
Yes.
That can never be allowed to slip them. That's what I'm saying.
We are not coming to the issue. That means you are not the local government chairman in the first instance because you want to work. But you are seeing it as that your own time has come.
No, the spirit is willing. Spirit most often will be willing, but the body will be weak.
When the body is weak, then resign.
So when you have 90 votes of about 6 million,
that means you are making money. That means if you don't, that means only that the money may not be enough.
No.
That is why you don't want to resign. That money is coming in. Only that instead of 100 naira coming in, 1 naira is coming in. Because if 1 naira is not coming in, hunger will kill you. Then you leave. Why don't you want to leave?
Okay,
if you resign, you go back to your community and they will accept you.
That's why it's good as a politician. Ensure you have something doing.
Yes, that is.
If you don't have something doing, you are in trouble. Even just like these people that are in the House of Assembly now, I was watching Enugu people during the election, but I don't want to talk much about that. We want Party JJJ or TTT to take over so that I think they have taken over. those who cannot stand firm and defend, and there are some of us are still watching. What am I trying to say? Even as I speak with you, hunger is a very dangerous tool.
Yes.
That is why at times, as a politician, the moment you catch a politician's financial source, you have wrecked that politician. But if as a politician, you have something doing, like my learned senior here, Chief Ray, he's almost in court on daily basis. He has something doing. There are certain things he can do. Even as I speak this morning, part of the reasons why I can stay talk is because at least every morning I can, whenever I'm strong, I can go to court and other places and make money. That is when you can now say, this is what I will do, or this is what I don't want to do. But if politics is your business, that's the only business you have, you will not resign. That's why they don't want to resign.
That is what I'm saying.
So they are accepting the little one.
Someone will argue that if politics is that dirty, you come into it with your own brand of soap and wash it. The best thing is not to resign, but stay there and clean it up.
And issue of staying there and cleaning it up.
I still disagree with you.
Let me make a simple point before Chief will come in. Chief, don't be offended. Do you know one thing about power?
Yes.
Like as a private individual now, there are things I may want to do because of financial limitations. I may not be able to do that. Those who are in power, they don't have much limitations in that regard. In worst case scenario, they will borrow. Even the borrowing is not good, but in worst case scenario, like Enugu state government now, in worst case scenario, can decide to go and borrow money. Unlike what a private businessman may have difficulty in having the collateral to borrow. Now, coming to the local government tier of government, their duty is limited. If you look at Chapter 4, you look at the fourth schedule to the Nigerian Constitution, yes, and just oppose it with Section 7 of the Nigerian Constitution, you will find out that it's all about having those who can think very far with their brain. What stops a local government, for instance, from having a football club? There are some local governments, councils, that have their own transport system. They make money from there. Apart from their money allegedly being hijacked by some state executives. So there are things. And in this same country, we have seen local governments who complain about lack of funds. Yet, the late Obochenge from my local government, yes, the late us on what they so careful. Yes. I wouldn't say that he did perfectly well, but he tried as a local government chairman. The former local government chairman of, I think, Aniri local government, this popular man from Aniri, former local government that did well there. So it's all about, to a great extent, what you want to do as a person. I know governors may wield influence, stakeholders may wield influence, but depending on the type of local government chairman in power, you may, instead of, let's say, recording 100% success, you may record 40% or 50%, but they are seeing money. If they are not seeing, I'm here to see a black man who does not want to resign when he's not seeing money. You are not seeing money. You don't want to resign. You are suffering, but you don't want to leave. Just like most Igbo businessmen, they say, after that, I can't bet you every money go and open the shop, and after that, you go and open the shop.
He has hope.
He has hope. But he opens the shop. But after that,
Okay, but sorry, see money, talking about local government, see money. Are local government chairman thinking, are they looking for ways of making money instead of going cap in hands every month to the federal government, which anything that's coming from there passes through the governor, who dips his hands into that till and gives him crumbs off the table?
Yes, one thing you understand is that most local government entire generation of revenue is virtually zero. They don't have source of making money apart from the allocation. And that allocation, the problem with it is that when it comes, instead of unlike our own time, the allocation comes direct to us. Most of us have various banks. You get the information that has been paid into your account. As at that time, I was banking with the local government was banking with Central Bank, and others were banking with commercial. We are very few that were banking with Central Bank. I inherited it from my predecessor. But I must have to say, when the state governor is dipping his hand into the tail of the little money given to the local government, the national will share it, have their own percentage. State will have their own percentage. Local government, still, they will dip hand in the local government to collect the money. And when they collect the money, you have given the local government chairman the impetus to play around with the remainder of the fund. There is no way you can complain. And anybody making complaint to the governor, you will see that the governor will sit on it, knowing fully well that he is part and parcel of the problem. That's what I'm trying to tell. Sometimes they will share this windfall of revenue, which is not part of the allocation. The allocation is VAT and the money for the payment of salaries. And you know quite well that local government are the people paying primary teachers, but they pay, the money is deducted at the source through SPEB. They are the one paying traditional rulers, but the money is deducted from the source through Minister of Local Government, Chieftaincy Affairs. So when you deduct all those things, the remainder that ought to go directly to the local government will come to a pool when they get joint account. From there, they will start distributing. And I believe why they have shrined this joint account is the fact that during our own time, there are some local government that doesn't pay salary because of zero allocation. Most of them, I can mention it as SoCal daily because so many of them have, I don't know how, maybe the number of too many teachers. By the time they finish deducting teacher salary, the one remaining for local government staff is almost zero.
So why are people
zero
fighting to occupy that position of local government chairman?
Because of the fact that if we are an outsider, like I told you when I was campaigning, I have a very big idea and a very big hope that I'm going to do a lot. But when I came into the local government, I found out that there's a big problem. Even when you see this morning, there are some people, some requests from the state that will be coming for one assignment or the other, which obviously you must not ignore. There are some from the national. Probably one commissioner or all this is will send, and you must have to obey it. So when we find out that, could you remember that? Could you understand that I'll be having payment of 1,500,000 naira as salary, whereas my allocation will be 1,600,000. After paying salary, what will be left is 100,000 to run the council. as at the time we were. Then, but these people now are very lucky that their allocation are big. The allocation they're getting is very, very big.
One of the executive orders signed by the governor on the 29th of May was the order that will entrench transparency. People should know how much local government chairman is getting in a month and how he is spending that. Will it have...
No, how do you know it? Even if you have the allocation paper from the federal, it doesn't go straight to the local government. It goes to state joint account.
But the governor says he will make it open so that...
Even if it makes it open, it will be open from where? Is it from the state joint account? It is by the time the state joint account finish sharing,
then we know how
that
much
you will
it
know
is.
how much that will be going to the local government.
Yes.
Yes, if you know how much that will be going to local government, and you know quite well, most of the local government chairmen, the problem is that state does state executive council meeting every week, Wednesday.
Yes.
Federal, the same thing. But you find out that some local government chairmen don't even do FRG. There are finance and general purposes committee where you will approve so many contracts. Most local government chairmen don't even constitute that committee
Do they even
at
have
all.
contracts? I heard that under a governor, they were not allowed to even do anything at all.
That's what I'm saying, because the law says that you must first of all go to that FNG and get approval of whatever you. And if there is an emergency that you did not get approval, you go there for rectification. But you know quite well that what they normally do is that even if they don't go there, they will win some people and come to this thing and say, please, you must have to sign this, get this thing approved. And the auditors, when they come, instead of them being independent and do their job, once you settle them, forget about it. The thing will be retired. So the system is so bad.
And I hear they are under the lock and key of godfathers in their different territories.
Yes, some of them are there.
Have you seen that, Dr. Barisogwe?
Yes, it's true.
Anyway,
It's true, because some of them made it possible for them to come into office.
Facilitated it.
And as a result of that, they will put pipe. And be
we are not coming to the real answers now. We are not coming to the truth.
no,
You know,
I know quite well.
Let me tell.
They'll put pipe
Let me tell you. the
and be
problem.
draining the finances. And if you happen to fail to do their bidding,
Chief is not answering the question. Chief,
Okay,
he's not saying the truth. See, let me tell you one thing with our people. You see the Nigerian people.
but are you saying that I have not been saying the truth?
So you have, I mean, you are not saying the truth in an emphatic manner. You are answering that question now. You answered it. You now said where the problem is coming from. You see one thing with this country. Nigeria is a very interesting nation, including the Enugu state. Honestly, this country should be studied. You see this noise in quote, you are making this money about local government. Forget it. Most of our people don't want the local government to move forward, including those who are crying. They only crying because it has not gotten to their own turn, their own share. The day you will see a man that will even walk, many people will not vote him. They will say no. Because in local government, most of the workers don't come to work. That's why when Solidan was in charge, some people were annoyed, say this man said, the lawyer, they career this shoot up and down, disturbing people. They want, you are working here, you have another job.
And you are living in Sokoto.
Sokoto, at the end of the month, you come back and collect money. So the day our
Some
people
don't even come back.
The day
They have proxies that will.
now you're coming to the issue of stakeholders. You want to be a local government chairman, and you are speaking English. Fourth schedule, section 7. The stakeholders be looking at you. It's not book English. It's not book fourth schedule. Fourth schedule. They can't check IFO. That is the issue. That's why the late Mabweze Okafor was able to achieve the little because of how he became a local government chairman by providence, divine providence. Because of that, he was now able to exercise some level of independence. Because I know he wasn't also totally independent.
But people were not happy after him.
But people are not talking good about him. Like, you know, when you're in power, see, if you're
No,
in power,
certain people are not the people. The people are happy.
yes,
The grassroots. But some people that
Not
up that
happy because-
because he has opened the eye of so many people. Like in Anambra, when Ngige was there, it wasn't Ngige that made people to know that there was money in government. When he started building roads and the rest of them. So they say, oh, so there is money in government. So that's the point. It depends on the individual.
stakeholders and the masses don't. We don't like good leaders.
Okay,
Most of us don't like good leaders.
1055, 0700 1055 00. That was right. Good morning to you. You're welcome. Chris from Asaba. Thanks for joining us. Go ahead. 1 minute.
And if you don't want to start for him, what am I trying to say? The local government chairmen are just put there as a presentation of income for the governor. I think so they are handicapped unless the law that gives local government autonomy power to operate very well is properly put in place in Nigeria. The local government system in Nigeria cannot function and will not function.
All right, Chris, thank you. All right, Chris, thank you. It says the local government will not function because they don't have autonomy. Why were the governors against autonomy? That is the CDO. Some of them.
Of course, it's because of the issue of money. That autonomy is because of the issue of money, because, it's like a free food. It's usually difficult for someone to give free food. Honestly, free food is not usually easy to reject free food. So, someone that every month...
Even if it is sour.
Every month...
Let's take a call now. Good morning. Hello? Yeah, good morning to you, say.
The studio. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You have made well analyzed of these issues. Well, let me start from the education. Okay, we in Africa has made ourselves a stock in the world. Why should somebody be made? You must go to school before you become an engineer. Okay, well, I'm an engineer by profession and I went to school, I know. But there are people who are doing this project in this country. They are working on that job, but most of them have not attended university. What did they do? They learn how to operate all these heavy machines. And the government employ them under Josbega, and they work and do their job perfectly. In Nigeria, if you doesn't go to school, even if you want to ask for secretary in an office, or sorry, not secretary, how they call it, they put that first girl. The person who has the shop or who has the establishment will tell you, bring your documents. That is how we have standardized education. That is why everybody has to go to school through every means. Because if you don't go to school, the people will laugh at you. You can't get job. Even in the village, you cannot talk. Let me move further to the security. Okay, one. I have said it and I go to say it. As far as the structure of Nigeria remains the same. Last time when Ondo was talking on the Urban Radio, he said that the way the constitution of Nigeria is better. Let's obey this constitution. And I am telling him categorically clear. You cannot uphold Nigerian constitution because it's not the people's constitution. That's number one. Number two, Nigerian constitution is the problem we have. Let me give you why it is the problem. You cannot stay in Abuja and be operating what is happening in Zago. You cannot stay in Abuja and be operating what is happening in Uti. Telling that you are the commissioner of police and the commissioner of police. If you don't employ people of Uti, people of Zago as DPOs to control and checkmate their security issues, do you see what happened in Uti? In Eke? It's just simple. Okay, well, let me inform you what happened in Eke. People we are doing kidnapping and the criminals we are operating in the bush, and the good people prepared and went there for pressures. And when they reach there, the people who are doing kidnapping run away. The security agency rescue them. And because of what I am saying, there is no structure in security in Nigeria. The army we are coming to rescue them too. And there's some security people thinking they are the criminals. They shot everybody. Because there is no communication. The hierarchy of authority of oppression is different. When security see police, they will say sorry, sir. When police see army, they will say sorry, sir. Nobody is in control of a party.
Our time is almost up.
And just of the kidnapping, because of that, is no oppression. If that is
Yes, you are talking about interagency synergy. Yes. All right, you say our time is up. We have to run now. Thank you. Thank you, and do have a nice day. Yes, interagency collaboration, very, very key. And inter-authority collaboration as well. We were at the first town hall meeting of the Enugu State government at the Old Government Lodge. We had people, stakeholders in the security architecture. And when Bishop Chukwuma was to speak, he talked about local government chairmen not respecting traditional rulers. And we know that the traditional rulers are the powers we have at the grassroots level. And when we have this insecurity, kidnapping, banditry in the villages and in our clans and all that, the traditional rulers and local government chairmen can exchange information and they have a role to play. Have our local government chairmen worked hard in the area of security in their domains? Barrister Reynard.
Yes. You know, they're the chief.
And most of them live outside their local governments.
Yes, because of the
If
fact
the local governments were safe, why wouldn't they relocate?
No, the issue is that you don't have a very good accommodation in the local government, various local governments. Because
what do you mean by good accommodation?
yes, as at the time, let me take for myself for example, we don't have the house we have as at that time was the house built by the local colonial masters.
They rent.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Can they rent?
It depends. As at that time, there was no good accommodation to rent. Unlike
Okay,
now.
as at that time. But
Yes,
now,
as
I'm
at
telling
now.
you that the chairman
Now.
of all the local governments, almost all of them.
No, what they ought to have done is to map out a place and build local government quarters, or even the chairman.
So they will be close to the people.
Exactly, so that you will stay there and be close to the people. And then because you don't have a functional place for a local government chairman
And
or
the
officials to live.
And the telephone numbers of most local government chairmen are not in public domain, and they should be.
No, we know quite well. Most of them. That is the point. Even if sometimes if we are ringing, if you are calling and if it doesn't know the number, you will not even pick.
Yes.
Which is not good. You're supposed to pick every call because you don't know who is calling and what actually.
Back to the issue of security.
Yes.
They have fed.
Yes. Actually, I must have to tell you. You know, the idea of saying that, like saying that state governor is the chief secretary of the state, whereas the commissioner of police does not take order from the government.
Yes.
The same thing is applicable to the local government. The divisional police officer does not take order from the local government chairman. The man in charge of SSS, DSSS, does not take order from the local government. The same thing applicable to even civil defense. So,
is there any local initiative you can apply in the absence of this?
Yes, you have neighborhood watch, but if you are to have neighborhood watch, you must have to have the fund.
Yes.
To take care of them, and the issue of weapon, because if you don't have a very solid weapon, if you have this double barrel facing somebody with AK-47, you are wasting your time. You are wasting your time.
If you just fire, you run.
One bullet alone. So that's the point. So, and you are not empowered to allow those people to carry AK-47. That is the point. Okay. So the key point there is intelligence. How do you nip these things on the board? Not prevention. Okay. Not curing.
Okay.
Curative, but preventing.
Okay. Hello? Yeah, good morning. We're doing great, Enzo. Yes.
Commissioner of Police don't take orders from governors. I laugh. So why do they have security meetings every week with all the security chiefs in their domain? Why do they collect billions as security votes? Mostly money as security votes. Every month they collect billions. If they know they're not in charge of Commissioner of Police and domain, they should stop collecting money for security votes now. So why are they having security meetings? Are you guys not aware that governors have security meetings with military, army, navy, police, JSS, and civil defense in their domain? So they have security meetings just to go and sit there. All these security meetings just for them to sit and drink and go home. If they are not in charge of those commissioner of police. So if a governor tells the commissioner of police, I'm about to operating in point B, the commissioner of police will not take orders from me. Why are we lying to ourselves? These guys are totally in charge.
Enzo, we have seen governors cry out in public.
Exactly.
That they are handicapped. Some of Benue State, for instance. Governor Tom of Benue State, for instance. We have seen governors in Southeast here. When we had the issue of Nihamu and headsmen were fingered, they were coming in quick succession, and nothing happened, and more lives were being lost.
Why then call the commissioner of police, call the army chief in their domain? They say no, they're waiting for Buhari to give the order to go after criminals. I want to understand something.
No. They will not say that. No. They will not say that. The issue is that he might give order to you might tell the commissioner of police this is what you want. He will not even do it. He will not tell you. He might tell you, yes, sir, I will do it. But he will be waiting order from the IG.
Yeah.
It is the IG's order that he respects.
Yes, because he will run it by the IG.
Exactly. It's the IG's order that he respects. It doesn't respect that of the governor. Except they are friendly. If the commissioner and the governor is very friendly, he can go out of his way to do certain things. But any order given by the IG, contrary to that of the governor, he will do that of the IG and forget that of the governor.
All right, we have somebody joining us on our Facebook page now. Opala Sunday is watching from Anambra State. Watching from Enugu. There is a great decay in the society. Local government chairman or the chairmanship position is a mere political appointment. They are only answerable to the state governor. Tell me a local government chairman that executed a reasonable project. The answer is no. Thanks, Barrister Ray Naji and Barrister CDO Way. Immediately you make them local government chairman, you begin to see folks and policemen around them. It happens with people who have money in their pockets. Yes, you see folks.
No.
Policemen, they cannot move in one vehicle alone, about 5 vehicles. And when people get money, they begin to behave like that. Are they really very rich that they begin to shield themselves from public access?
No, automatically, political power in Nigeria confers some level of wealth in quote on any given political office holder. It's normal. And again, let's even view this issue from a different perspective.
Yes.
Let's be realistic. This issue of having access to political office holders. The truth is this: at times, as a political office holder, if people start having unrestrained access to you, it will affect governance.
Very true.
Because most often when these people are coming, they are coming with series of problems that require financial assistance. And for you to actually attend to them, you have to meddle unlawfully in public
And the
funds.
only language to understand is cash.
And public funds. Now, that's why I've always believed as a leader, what you should do is you should use your position to do the right thing so that whether people approach you or not, they'll benefit from you. For instance, you're a governor. If you work on the health system, when people fall sick, whether they are rich or poor, whether they know you or not, they should walk into any hospital and then, enjoy reasonably well-prepared medical this thing, whether they know you or not. But when you now start behaving like Ezomogo, because you're a local government chairman, you start answering all the calls. Chief Ray talked about calls. Let's be realistic. If you start answering, in fact, once you win the election, that's when your phone will start ringing. You can see my own doesn't ring anyhow. But once you are declared a winner or you are given a political appointment, your ancestors will start remembering you. All your family members, even those who don't believe in you, they start telling you that your grandfather, your great-grandfather is related to their great-great-grandfather.
Let me come in here. You know quite well, the most important aspect of governance is making access accessible to the people.
Yes.
Some people are very elusive. When they are in office, you find it difficult to get to them. Let me give you an instance. When I was commissioner for chieftaincy, that's another big place where you see influx of people and the complaints and the problems. And I must have to tell you, I made it possible that it's an open door policy. Everybody should come and see me. It got a time, one of my aides came to me and said, look, some people want to bring money. Because I told them, look, I'm not interested in anybody's material thing. Because of the fact that if somebody has good matter, but because of the fact that I have placed some financial attachment to it, he will not get close to me, and his problem will not be solved. Then I made it possible that whenever you have any problem, come to me. But some people, it is gratifying that some people that had problems sees the governor or sees the chairman, even without even financial gratification given, the person might go home satisfied that his problem has 50% solution. The main fact that he saw the chairman. But some of them made things difficult. You can't even see the chairman. You can't even see the governor. During the time we were in Chimaroke's regime, it got the time that it was not possible for the governor was making it impossible for you to see him. And I told him, look, it is not good. Open your door. Anybody that comes to see you, he has seen the governor. Even if you don't give anything to the person, half of his problem has been solved because he has placed his problem before you. And actually one or two advice must have been given out.
Chief, don't be offended.
Yes.
So how will it, Chief, you are in power. If I see the governor now as a normal citizen in government house, and I go home without any white or brown envelope, I said, thank you, will I be happy?
No.
I defeat the governor for a problem.
No,
and the governor does not tell me, you are welcome.
No, but it depends. No.
That's more this thing. There, go.
No, but it depends. Look, if you go
because when Solidan was in power,
the
point, this issue, don't be offended, Chief, this issue of having access, I agree. If you're empowered, people should have access to formal mechanisms.
Yes.
Because at times, even for your own
but
safety,
they shouldn't abuse it.
even for your own safety, you need that information.
Okay, we have a
But-
caller now. Hello. Good morning, Justice.
Hello.
Hello, go ahead. Sorry about that. Very sorry.
Good morning.
Good morning.
If I listen to me, I want to make a plea.
I'm hearing you. Give who? Chimaroke ministerial appointment.
As a hidden bomb.
No, I cannot be a Father Christmas. If you want me to write for him, you should let me know so I can write for him. Father Christmas do gratis without even begging for it. If he wants me to write for him, I will do that.
He knows
But I
how
must
to do it.
yes,
He has to perfect your mind.
exactly. Yeah, thank you for borrowing me that one.
All right.
Good morning.
To you. You have a nice day. Okay. The local government, they have quite a number of sources of income: maintenance and regulation of slaughterhouses, slaughter slabs, markets,
So many
motorways,
things.
public
Yes.
construction and maintenance of roads, street lights, and drains and other
Big
public
functions.
avenues.
Big functions.
Yes, open spaces, such public facilities as we prescribed from time to time, and they can even
tenement rate and the rest of them.
Marriage certificates, assessment of privately owned houses or tenement for the purpose of levying such rates as may be prescribed. All these big houses you have everywhere in local governments, they can approach them and levy them because they have to make money and they can engage in businesses, agriculture, hiring of tractors.
But that will be in the rural area because I know in the urban there must be conflict. There must be conflict between the state and the local government.
Yes.
In the urban.
Yes.
Because
Like Enugu South,
yes,
Enugu North,
yes,
Enugu
the
East.
state will not allow them to come into that area.
Okay, we have a caller. Hello? Prime Minister, good morning. Well done, sir.
Good morning. Hi, Kenekwan.
But what is it, as a local government chairman, what is the Melofuma in Enugu South? And even one caretaker, we do that with this, so the caretaker. It's the other one, the other one where we got a brother. Try to do, and they do, for part of his own, he did not even reach the one way to his house. I don't know, but three what is the we see. don't monitor them, they will begin to work. Because they can't do anything. So, see this time people are trying to do it. I don't know. They say somebody stopping that it's only well for that person. One senator for that side. Then if he finish the road, they will not be giving him the money that they're doing this and that. If it was nobody them have been destroyed now. Maintain one regardless of how they maintain here. It will be less trouble for you. So when we talk about doing work, we talk about maintenance. All of them will go together. Maintain the old one, then we'll do small ones for the new one. Okay, let us stop chopping this morning, because after the shop are finished, people will begin to call you bad names. Do work, people will remember you after you come down. But after everything, we will see them, begin to pity for them. And when you are there, you don't do anything. That's what we Israel Vienna is.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Thank you. All right, have a nice day. How can we put Anthony the pants of local government chairman to let them start functioning?
No, like I said, local government, there's commission for local government. Fine. But governor can equally set up a committee on his own to be going around and feeding him with reports of what is happening. Because governor cannot be everywhere. He cannot even go himself. But that committee will now go around in line or in conjunction with the local government, Minister of Local Government Affairs, and they be giving him periodic assessment. And you must have to be going round to those local government and study. And once they know quite well that some people are checking them, you see them working.
They shy away from accountability too, because you invite them to a radio program to come and account. Still what shit? Come and explain. What have you done? They run away.
Yes, most of them are afraid, because they might say one thing or the other that might even know quite well that some people are even stage fright, to the extent that they cannot even come to the press. There are some questions you might throw that by the time they are answering the question, they may have committed themselves. So that's why some of them are running away.
Hello. Sorry, good morning to you. Just give me a minute.
No, that is weak now. It's one out of many. It's one out of many. But the House of Rep has his security. He has no security.
All right. Enzo, we have. All right, we have just 1 minute to go.
We are not making excuses. We are saying the obvious. No, we are saying the obvious.
We have 1 minute to go. We have just 1 minute to go. Barrister CDO, what are the legal and other means of pushing out local government chairmen who are not performing? How can we awaken the zeal?
In theory, impeachment through the councillors. In theory.
Can it doesn't really work?
It will only work when the governor wants the local government chairman to go.
Okay.
If the governor does not want the local government chairman to go,
the chairman has politics to stop them.
The councillors won't even move the motion for impeachment.
No, the House can equally when you are indicted financially through audit, they might audit the account and find you culpable or in certain things. The House can come in and say, okay, you step aside.
Okay.
That one becomes unconstitutional.
It's not unconstitutional. It's not unconstitutional.
Can the people of the local
the House that created that for side function.
Our time is up now. Okay. Can the people, the masses, the voters do something to remove that chairman?
No, through their councillors. Through their councillors.
So they cannot move to the local government headquarters.
No, they cannot succeed. They cannot succeed in doing that.
Okay.
Because the law did not empower them to do that.
All right. Okay, that's the much we can take on this program today. We've been appraising our local government chairman and the system as well, and trying to see how we can. Honorable Chief Barrister Energy.
They will sue. By the grace of God, they will sue at the Israel hand.
Only that they refuse to create a new autonomous community for those of us on Amechi. Then they give us Amechi, ordinary land agents.
So you will not go for it.
That is a CDO way. Thanks always for being here.
It's my pleasure.
I'm working on Waneke, and the news at 10 is next.
This kind of very good program. This kind of very big topic, you're supposed to make it more than 1 hour. Yes. Now.
No, we can have it back too.
That's what I'm saying. It's a very, very good program.
Yes.
And most local government, they will listen to it.
They will listen.
All of them. Even one we called the other said, listen to this. What is happening?
Okay.
It's not that I'm the cook. It's like it to me. It's like it to
Get insurance if you may. Sign of the cross, because things are about to get shaken up here.
Okay, let's go.
We are very different. We are Energy 105.5 FM and be all the power.
It's 10 a.m. local time and 9 hours Greenwich Mean Time. Good morning and welcome to Energy 105.5 FM News in Brief. The Enugu State government has commenced the reinforcement of different means to address the imminent erosion and environmental challenges the state is predicted to face within the next few months. This is because the Nigerian Meteorological Agency (NIMET) and the Nigeria Hydrological Services Agency (NHSA) have warned that parts of the state will be affected by flooding ranging from low to moderate risk flooding. This was disclosed by the Secretary to the State Government (SSG), Professor Chidiebere Onyia, in Enugu, at a meeting with stakeholders and members of the task force constituted to assist the government to control and mitigate the impact of the flooding. While addressing members of the task force drawn from different professional agencies in the state, the SSG warned residents against erecting structures on waterways, dumping of wastes and refuse on drainage, and deliberate obstruction of canals. He noted that the state governor, Dr. Peter Mba, was worried by the predictions and immediately directed that the task force that would protect the lives and property of the citizens be constituted in order to forestall the environmental disaster and draw up a sustainable plan on strategic engagement of future disasters. Governors Hope Uzodinma of Imo State and his Lagos State counterpart Babajide Sanwo-Olu have set up a committee to broker peace in their determination to end the soured relationship among Igbos and Yorubas in Lagos. In a communique issued at the end of a meeting between Lagos State government and South